So do you have $1,000 and you're confused about what you should do with that $1,000? Well, stay tuned because I'm going to give you some of my tips that I would recommend that you do if you had an extra $1,000. Thank you so much for tuning into Terry On Demand. Before we jump into this video, why don't you go ahead and click that subscribe button, smash that like button, and go ahead and share this video with some people that you think would benefit from this. Let's jump right in. So let's talk about it. You know, if you have $1,000 and let's say you're not sure of what to do with that $1,000, the first thing that I would do if I were you is I would save that $1,000 as an emergency fund. Now, if you have an emergency fund, then this doesn't apply to you, this particular step. But keep watching because there's some other things you can do if you already have your emergency fund. But if you don't, definitely keep the $1,000 as an emergency fund. There's nothing worse than having an emergency and not having any money to address that emergency. You know, that flat tire, something goes wrong at home, you need to buy something that may cost $200, $300. You want to make sure that you have your emergency fund. So I would save that $1,000 for my emergency fund. Now, if you already have that $1,000 emergency fund, what I would suggest is to begin building your 3 to 6 month emergency fund. So 3 to 6 months of your expenses. That includes your rent or your mortgage, and then your necessity bills. So your utilities, your car note, your anything that you pay for the month that's a necessity. Now, I'm not talking about, you know, something that's just a want, you know, traveling or something like that. I'm talking about your necessity bills. Make sure you try and save maybe 3 to 6 months of expenses as your emergency fund. And let's jump right into the next thing that I would do if you've already saved that emergency fund. Okay, so your emergency fund is in place and you have $1,000 to spare. The next thing that I would do is pay off your bills. Line them up from the smallest to the largest and start paying off your debt, because your biggest wealth building tool is your money. So if I had the extra $1,000 and I wasn't sure what to do with it, but I had some debt, I would definitely start paying off my lowest to highest debt with that $1,000, because you'll see a return on that money quicker, because you won't have to worry about interest fees. You won't have to worry about late fees. You won't have to worry about paying that monthly bill each month, because you've taken that $1,000 and you've put it towards or allocated it towards any outstanding debt. Another thing that I would do with $1,000 is I would invest in myself. You know, your biggest investment is yourself. So I would take that $1,000 and invest it towards maybe learning a new skill. Maybe you enjoy photography. Take a photography class that fits in that budget, and maybe, you know, spend $500 on buying a new camera so that you could start your photography business. Or maybe there's another program that you're interested in. Maybe you're interested in learning more about how to start a certain type of business that you may be interested in. Then I would go ahead and spend that $1,000 or a portion of that $1,000 on learning a new skill, learning a new hobby, or something that could generate some income for me. Or even if it couldn't generate income, maybe it's just a hobby that I enjoy. Maybe I wanted to take that $250 acting class that I always wanted to take. Well, I would use the extra $1,000 to invest in something for myself, whether it's a hobby or a new business, or maybe a class so that I could learn something new or learn a new skill. Now, the last thing that I would do, and don't forget to drop down in the comment section what you would do if you had an extra $1,000. Drop it in the comment section and let me know what you would do, and I'd be happy to respond back. I'm interested in seeing what you all would do with the extra money. But the final thing that I would do is invest in the stock market. The stock market is a great way to invest your money. Even if you need to take the time to learn more about how the stock market works, what the stock market is, and how it could help you benefit down the road, I would definitely begin to learn about the stock market. Because if you take a portion, or let's say you didn't want to invest the full $1,000, maybe you wanted to invest $500, or maybe you wanted to start off small and invest $200 or $100 or $50. Well, guess what? With compound interest, you would be amazed at what that stock portfolio could grow into as the years go along and you stay in it and have that money invested for the long haul. Some of the tools that you can use and instruments are things like a Roth IRA account, or purchasing ETF accounts. And let's talk a little bit just for a moment about an IRA account or a Roth IRA account. With a Roth IRA account, you can invest a certain amount of money every year, and the government deems how much that is. I think right now it's about $6,000 a year. But once you reach 59, you're able to withdraw from that account tax-free once you hit the age of 59 and a half. You're able to withdraw all of that money, not just your initial investment, but also all of that compound interest that you gained over the years. Now, with an ETF, it's a great way to be able to diversify your account in a very simple way with low fees. So, if I had $1,000, I would definitely look into investing in the stock market, learning about the stock market, and then dollar cost averaging my way into my portfolio. One of the best ways to do that is, once again, through ETFs and through index funds. And you could definitely research those to learn more about it. But I would definitely invest in the stock market. Thank you for joining this episode of Terry on Demand. Why don't you do me a favor and go ahead and click that subscribe button, smash that like button, and share this video so that other people can get this great information as well. And don't forget to check out the description box so that you can get your free stock from WeBull valued up to $3,000 just by depositing 1 cent into your account. And don't forget to check out that description box as well so that you could get my new credit repair ebook. Thank you for watching.